Right now, this is the Monday board, and each one of the stages on the left correspond to agents in our process. And these are all the tasks, some of them automated, some of them manual, that information that's useful for users to decide. So some of these things where you see the color coding, that's where an agent would have, a person would have to like fill that in. So a process has been kicked off in the background. We received the email, and Amazon AWS Lambda is going to create a user here, and there it is. So the process was created, and it added John Doe to that first step, and you can see this is where we are in the process. We've gone to this stage, and now it's just going to wait until certain things are completed in the Monday board to move it to the next stage. So now I'm going to go into the sub process. So this is, so you can see where the icons are. It's waiting for these transportation columns set. The other things like Dropbox, the automated tasks have already been completed. Those were fired off to AWS as soon as the agent entered this stage of the process. So John Doe here, you can see he's on the left there. And now a person is going to set the transportation. And if you go back to the process, you'll see that the agent receives this, and there should be an update here soon. So now you can see how there's the gray. Now it's waiting on the next one, which is restricted condition column set. Yeah. And so we'll go to the next. We're gonna go to this column, and we're gonna set that. This again, Monday does a webhook. It calls the Camunda, and it's now going to complete this entire step. So both of them are grayed now, and now we go to this notification, which sends some Slack messages and emails out. So now we should be at the next agent. Now we're at the next agent in this process, which is we're preparing for admission day. So that's how it works all the way through the end until we get to admit it. And now you notice that Camunda has moved that individual from the first stage to the next. So when people log in, they can see, oh yeah, here's John Doe. This is what has to do. Here's the step. Here's the work we have to do with John Doe. Now I'd like to show you the chatbot. So while this is happening, this could take weeks. People could interrogate and ask the system questions as we go. So here I'm just going to ask a basic question. When is John Doe's move-in date? And it came back and told me, oh, his move-in date is June 1st, 2026. This happened in the past. And then I asked him, I want to know, is this person married? This is personal information. And you can see the agent here is taking that question and it's redirecting it to our agent, our MCP server that we built. So like that's where the green icon is right there. And we'll now ask, it told us the answer. It said, oh, John Doe is single. So I'm going to ask another question. You notice now, like, I don't have to actually say John Doe anymore because it remembers that context. So I'm just going to say, does he have any hobbies? So now it's going to go back. It's waiting here for another question. It'll go back to the agent, and it's going to ask, it's going to redirect the question to the Welcome Home CRM. This is another MCP tool. And there it is. So now it's going to answer that question. Sometimes MCP can be a little slow because it's an API call, but it responded and said, yeah, John Doe, he likes movies, blah, blah, blah. So now it's back here. It's waiting for the next question. I ask another one. Has he been assigned a room yet? I want to know where this person is going to stay. So now, again, it goes back and it's going to ask the same question. So it's basically using. So the agent is deciding where to direct the query. And then within that, there's also a number of tools that that MCP client can utilize. So now it's answering, I'm asking another question about restricted conditions. It'll give us that answer. Here we have about a minute left. And so these are good questions that have to do with the resident. And you can see how the LLM, the agent, is responding in very nice English form. But there's another use case where we might be curious about Camunda events. Like I want to know, like for troubleshooting, hey, we had an error in our ticketing system. Let me query the state of the Camunda process in Camunda. Let's look at that MCP server. So now I'm asking questions that are more related to Camunda, like what is the process instance key? And then once I get that, So this is actually going to Monday because we put that information on Monday. So that tool, and now it gives us the process instance key. And now I can go to Camunda and say, hey, here's a process instance key. Give me a little information about this process. And so it'll hit a different MCP server. It'll hit the Camunda MCP server. It should. And there it is. There you can see it's asking, and this is how Camunda responded. And there's all sorts of questions you could ask with Camunda. And we could extend this to, we could put other tools in here, like we could put a RAG tool or whatever other options here. So this is very growable. This agent can do a lot more. But so yeah, that's basically it. So I hope that was clear, helpful.